So we're speaking with the man, the myth, the legend, David Alpay, aka Jade. Thank you so much for taking the time. We have been wanting to talk to you for a while. First question that we have for you is, I know this has been a big season for you in terms of everything that's going on. What has the death of Mrs. Liu done to you as a character and as a actor, since you work so well with her?
I love Liz Moy, who plays Tian Chen, and it was funny. It was like we bonded in real life as we were bonding as characters on the show. That both happened kind of simultaneously. It was heartbreaking in both instances. Like, obviously, Jade has this connection to his grandmother that they kind of touched on in season 1, and in a way, Tian Chen was almost like a surrogate for him, and he sort of projected that onto her. And he told her that story, knowing full well that she probably couldn't understand what he was saying, but that made it even easier for him to sort of open up and be vulnerable. And at the same time, absolutely loving working with Liz Moy, so creative, so inventive. The things that she would bring to the scenes and that we would kind of come up with and invent together. Such a great scene partner, great improviser, all through seasons 1 and 2, and then just to watch Tian Chen meet the end that she meets, and that the last thing she says is, "You need to take care of him because he's going to be alone now," about Kenny. Just her last act is an act of generosity, of please take care of this boy, to Boyd.
Well, both
heartbreaking.
Mrs. Liu and Liz Moy, who we've had on the podcast, are amazing people. We've been asking this of all of the cast members, and since you're trying to figure this out as a character, do you believe love is the Achilles heel of From, or what do you think is the Achilles heel of From?
Oh, that's so interesting. What do you mean by the Achilles heel of From? Like it's a it's a weak spot? It's
well, yeah, because in the first season, everybody was kind of separated, and the monsters kind of were contained in a sense. Now that you guys are on the offensive, and everybody is getting along, so to speak.
Oh, that's so interesting. The monsters are getting more vicious. Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Surely the monsters are evolving in the sense that, they're not static. It's not the same old ball game. It's not the same strategy on their part. They're previously, they're active at night and they murder people. They eat people who dare to go outside or open their doors and windows. Like, there was always that. But now they're acting throughout the day by acting psychologically on the people of the town, by sort of implanting thoughts and ideas and leaving Randall scarred for everybody to see as a kind of constant reminder of what they're capable of. But is love the Achilles heel?
Is that the weakness, you think?
No, I don't think so. I think love only makes you stronger ultimately. And I think that if the people of the town have any hope of escaping this or solving this puzzle, it's only going to be by working together and working as a family. It's funny, like when Jade first comes into town, there's a much more stark differentiation between Colony House and town. And over the past 3 seasons, that's become more and more muted. Like it doesn't seem to matter. Or in other words, it doesn't seem like there's a specific personality type that could live in one or the other. Kenny says to Donna, he's like, "Is there room for me at Colony House? Like, I want to go live there because my home doesn't feel like a home anymore without my mother." Like it's much more fluid. So I think the two houses are melding in a way. And I think that if anything, that's going to make them stronger. The more collaboration there is, I think the better for everybody.
I know the Bottle Tree has had a lot of talk, and you're probably talking about it a lot today. Bottle trees have always captured monsters back in the day throughout history. Do you think that the dates are time travel, or do you think it has to do with containing the monsters?
Tell me more about bottle tree lore. I didn't know that this was a thing. There's a
There's
mythology of
bottle tree
trees
lore
in this
where
world.
you back in the day, the bottle tree would capture the monster. If you blow on it, you actually, that's the monster trying to get out. So that being said, Jade is going through that whole numbers thing.
Wow.
Do you really believe that that's something that could be possible with
It's
time?
entirely possible. So I suspect, Alex, from the tone and nature of your question, you haven't seen all the episodes this season.
I have not, because we do week to week. I do have one final question.
Yes.
And it's one of your cast partners. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to return the bike? I know.
No. Like, why would I
Okay.
return the bike? It's
Okay.
my set of wheels, man. It's how I get around town.
Okay.
And if Katrina wants it, she can come and like take it from me.
You talk to Tom. What is your connection with Tom, the bartender? Because you keep seeing him throughout.
Yeah, well, the actor who plays him is just an absolute pleasure to work with. I love Reed. I think he brings so much to that character. And again, you know, as far as Jade is concerned, Tom may or may not be there, but that's great because it lets him open up and be real in a way that he can't necessarily be with everybody around him. We do see a different version of Jade with like Bacta and Victor, and like there are moments, then there are people that he reveals himself to.
Yep.
For no apparent reason, but we see a window into him and his real self, and he's not the biggest jerk in the world, it turns out. So it's fun to see how he plays with that convention. I'm talking about Jade in the third person, but okay. So with Tom is kind of like Jade's conscience reflected back to him. He can hear the thoughts in his head out loud and see them in space and deal with them, to help Julie or not to help Julie, to, you know, give up the bottle or to keep drinking himself into oblivion, hoping that that altered state is going to help him solve the puzzle of the town. You know, sometimes he just needs a swift kick in the ass, and the real people around him aren't doing it for him. So it's good to have Tom.
Well, I want to thank you so much for giving us this time. The fans there, they all love you. I just want you to know that.
And thank you, Lizzie. Thank you. Thanks for talking about the show and getting the word out there. I think I'd certainly appreciate it. I know all of us do. And the more people who know about From, the better. It's such a great show. Such a great show.
You make it worth it every Sunday. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Brother, take care.